My name is Kate, and today I'm really excited because I'm going to be joined in the kitchen with Chef Mike. So we had a request from a viewer, a participant, who wanted to know about barbecue tips and how to grill meat. So today Mike is going to help us and he's going to help walk us through how to barbecue a meal. So what are we going to make today?
So we're going to just make a simple grilled chicken leg and some vegetable skewers. Nice and easy and simple and fresh.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So is this the chicken leg we're going to be...
You got it.
Oh, look at that.
So here we have a raw chicken leg, and one of my best tips to get extra flavor on the barbecue or when you're grilling is to brine the meat. So what you want to do is 8 to 12 hours before you want to cook the meat, you want to prepare a simple brine and sort of soak the piece of meat or pieces of meat in the brine. So I'm going to show you guys how to make that real quick. A brine is a simple solution of water and salt and a little bit of sweetness and whatever herbs and flavors and spices that you want to get in there. And the purpose of it is to, basically it's sort of gonna hydrate the poultry. And sort of the water content of the chicken leg is gonna sort of slowly leave the chicken while this sort of flavorful mixture is gonna move into it. So we're gonna find that when we're finished at the same temperature, the brined piece of meat is actually just a little more succulent and juicy than the same temperature non-brined piece of meat.
Okay, good. I've seen Derek do it in the past, so I'm interested.
Here we have 8 cups of water. We're gonna get that going. I'm reserving about a cup of water here, and I'm gonna put that into a separate container. You'll see why in a second. Here's half a cup of kosher salt. Now, if you're using table salt, I recommend using about half to a third of the amount because the relative salinity of table salt is a lot higher than the kosher stuff that the kitchen guys use. So if you're using this recipe, which is 8 cups of water, half a cup of salt, that makes sure that that's kosher salt or that you adjust accordingly. We're gonna add the salt to the small amount of water. And then I've got some herbs ready to make our vegetable skewers, but I've got some of the sort of, stalks and stems of those herbs. So we're gonna add those to our brine. Really simple. And then I've got some peppercorns and mustard seeds and a little bit of pickling spice there. That's gonna go in there. And then our job is just to dissolve this salt. And we're gonna add a little bit of honey for sweetness as well.
Honey, lovely.
So we're gonna dissolve the salt and the honey into the small amount of water and then incorporate it to the large amount because when you're making a brine, you don't wanna be brining your meat hot. You want it to brine cold, so we're heating up the smallest possible amount of the solution to just get the salt dissolved. Then we're gonna put it in here, and then the whole mixture won't be hot, and we can brine our bird quicker.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's a little tip, is just pull off as much as you need to dissolve, and then add it into the main mix.
That makes sense. Wonderful.
Okay, so now we've added all our ingredients to the brine, and we've got our brining chicken. And here I have prepared yesterday some brined chicken leg that we're gonna go take out to the grill soon. In the meantime, let's try and make some veggie skewers here.
Veggie skewers, what a good idea. Now, what have you done with the skewers over there?
So here I have the skewers soaking in a little bit of water, and it's a good idea to do this half an hour before you go to the grill, just so that the wood doesn't burn on you and you actually have a skewer that you can use after. So it's just a little trick to soak them so that they don't burn once you're cooking them on the grill. Now I've got a bunch of garden herbs here. We've got some basil, got some sage, got some lemon balm.
Oh, I bet that smells good.
Yeah, it does. It smells great. So we're just gonna take all these herbs and we're gonna make a quick little herb rub for our veggie skewers here. So
I love the way you roll all those herbs up.
this is called a chiffonade.
It's called a what?
It's called a chiffonade.
A chiffonade.
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
So this is a really good way to finely chop leafy herbs. It's common with basil or parsley. It's just a good way to get that sort of, and then you get these sort of stringy bits. You can go over it one more time with your knife if you like, just to make sure and then we're gonna make sure that we don't apply this to the skewers too early on the grill, otherwise we're gonna burn all our nice herbs here.
Right,
so we're just gonna make a nice.
So you've got that in some olive oil?
Yeah, we've just got a little bit of olive oil here, just enough to paste it up. We don't necessarily want it to be oily,
okay,
but we just want something that's going to make the herbs transfer to the skewers a little better.
So maybe a couple of tablespoons.
Just wet them up a little, yeah.
Yeah,
A little
okay.
couple of tablespoons.
Awesome.
Very simple. Now let's chop some veggies.
I wonder what's going on our skewers.
Let's make some skewers here, shall we? So here we've got some cremini mushrooms, got some grape tomatoes,
Right.
zucchini, and a good old red onion. So when making these skewers, I think it's good to take into account relative density of the vegetables. So between all these vegetables, the zucchini and the tomato are going to cook faster. The onion and the mushroom are not. So we're just going to make sure that the relative sizes of our chunks sort of take that into account so that we can have a nice evenly cooked skewer. We don't want raw mushrooms and mushy tomatoes on the same piece of, snack, right? So here we go. We're gonna chop the mushrooms fairly thinly. I think maybe I'll go in half, and then just make sure we want fairly thin chunks. We're gonna maybe mix that up with, got a couple rough spots on this zucchini here. We'll do a half coin of zucchini, but we'll make sure that it's a little bigger than the mushroom chunks. So let's do something like that. There's no rule to this. You want to make something that has the vegetables that you like snacking on, and we're not going to cook it too much. We're just going to sort of take the edge off. We don't want to.
Right.
We just want that nice grill flavor.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good idea. Okay.
So these we're just going to leave whole.
Can I help you here?
Sure, you can start skewering if you like.
Ooh. Do lots of things.
And then with the onion, I'm going to go. Just grab a few bits of this. We got 2 tomatoes in there. Nice slices of onion. Oops. That's it. Very simple.
This is easy.
It's easy and fun.
Lost my mushroom.
Kids really like helping out with this kind of thing too. Pieces. Again, we don't want these to get too much grill time. So,
Right.
if you do a really big piece of onion or mushroom, it's not going to get cooked in time.
So you could really get the long skewers and do
Oh,
this,
yeah.
couldn't you?
Oh yeah. Making a mess.
Yeah.
All right.
Skewers.
Look at that.
I love it.
Easy peasy, fun.
Okay.
Ready to go. So the number one thing you want to do when you're grilling is make sure to preheat your grill and make sure that it's warm before you go. Now that we're warmed up, the best way to clean your grill is when it's hot, because you'll find all the extra impurities and ashes and things will just fly off. So we're just going to give this a quick brush while it's hot. And then also very important, right after you clean your grill, you need to season your grill. So we've got a towel here. A little bit of vegetable oil. We're just going to sort of wet the towel and then use it to spread some oil. So got a little bit of oil there. And then you can use tongs for this. I'm okay doing it like this. And we just want to make sure that we're oiling the grill. So let's start some chicken. I like to start chicken skin side down. Try and get a good color on the skin. So we're gonna just get a couple of those on there. Make sure the heat's good to go.
What heat do you have it on?
So I have it on quite high. We want to start quite high just to make sure we get some nice color, some nice char on that skin. And then we're gonna adjust as we go. So after a good blast of maybe 5 minutes on the skin on high heat, we flip it over, we're gonna see that some nice grill marks. Then we're gonna adjust the heat lower and cover and cook sort of like in an oven.
Oh, okay. So 5 minutes.
Yeah, about 5 minutes high heat, depending, I mean, your mileage may vary. I'm finding this is sort of my first time using this grill, so I'm just finding out that it's not as hot as I would have expected to be at this point.
Okay.
But we're getting there. We're gonna get there.
There's always hot spots, right?
There's always hot spots, for sure. Now, because we've brined it,
Right.
you've already got your salinity levels and you got some herbal flavors in there. That's the beauty of brining the chicken, is you don't require any further seasoning.
Okay.
So you're all good to go. So we're gonna check for juices. We're gonna make sure all the juices are running clear, and we're basically gonna poke the thickest part of the chicken
Okay.
and make sure that it's clear. Yeah, with a knife or with your tongs even.
Okay.
If you want to keep the skin intact, you can work from the bottom and check it. I always have a thermometer around, so that's the number one best way to make sure it's done.
What temperature should it be on the thermometer?
Well, again, your results may vary. Public health says at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit for pieces of chicken. If you're doing a whole chicken, they recommend 180. And again, your little chef tips, things are always cooking a little more after you remove them. So it's wise to, remove the chicken maybe a couple degrees before it's at your desired temperature, because it's going to keep cooking a little bit after you remove it.
Right.
These I'm just hitting with a little salt and pepper, and then we're going to go straight on here. Oh, we lost the mushroom there. You can already smell those mushrooms. This one's got a little bit beat up. Okay, we'll hit him with a bit of this. It's not going to brush very easily with this brush. Just smash it on there. Smells good. Almost want to just emerald bam it on there. This brush isn't that ideal for this.
Sometimes those baskets work really well, don't they? There's some barbecue baskets.
Oh, for sure. Those are great. Those are great. All right, shall we?
Awesome.
Here we go. We're getting there.
Wow.
Looks good.
Oh, look at that. Well, thank you very much, Chef Mike. That was
pleasure.
wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show. From everybody here at the local, please stay safe and well, and we'll see you soon.
Keep a stick on the ice.
Bye.